Good morning, gardening friends. It is now, let's see, February 8th at a little past 11 a.m. I figured it's time for another update. So we'll just kind of run through the garden here. Unfortunately, what you see right in front of you is a really sickly looking tomato plant, but we've been through that before. Lima beans still looking healthy. I don't see a lot of beans on it. I think I picked the last of them, at least for a while. It seems to come and go in waves. So as I said, there's the tomato plant, but that's, third year. Broom corn, chamomile, something I might as well tell you now. In doing all of those hummingbird planters around the office building, I literally cut corners. If you kind of look at them again, you can see they're circular. And so when I put a mat, I took this roll and grow stuff. Let's see if I can kind of show you. This is what the material looks like while you actually put it white side up, green side down, which is the opposite of what you do with sod. Some of you got that joke. So I literally, in order to fit them in a circular container, I cut the corners to make kind of an octagon. So I had all of these corners left over that I didn't just toss. So I had this one planter I was going to plant some vegetables in. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and put a bunch of these corners, and I still have, my bag still has a bunch of corners in it. So I'm going to find places to put it, and then just water it in. And then the other thing I figured out that I can kind of do is I can actually peel up the white. Once you get it in place, you can take up the white. You got to do it a little carefully. So what I'm actually going to do is first I'm going to get it wet, then I'm going to peel it up. That way it won't keep flying away on me while I'm trying to do that. Anyway, that's that planter. This is the planter where I put all of the lettuce, various types of lettuce seeds. Looks like we got some more chamomile, a carrot, and more basil, which I'll eventually clear the basil out. And and we've got marigold sitting in there. And because some of the plants on the bottom of those planters over there are dying, I'm probably going to take some of the marigolds from my garden and put them in there. So here we've got another planter with I'm not sure what, although that looks an awful lot like marigold right there. So this may have been a planter mix, or I may have thrown a bunch of marigold in there. We got more of the broom corn. This is the really tall one. That one's pretty much dead, so I'm probably going to cut that down soon. More marigold and chamomile, I think. We've got the bush type thingy. We've got the mutant zinnia, the really tall zinnia, and I don't know how well you can see it. I'll get it from outside in a bit, but it looks like one of the flowers is opening up there, so that's really good news because I haven't seen much from it. Memorial planter, nothing. It would be really nice to actually have something grow in there, but I don't know. I'm just having to keep staying on top of it, maybe keep replanting or eventually just give up. It would be nice though to have something grow in a memorial planter. We've got the big marigold planter from which I may steal some of the marigold plants for the hummingbird planters. Sorry, I don't mean to make you dizzy. The other plant, which I can't quite identify, if anybody knows what it is, please tell me. The child of the mutant zinnia. Another marigold, which I may take from for those hummingbird planters. We've got the branch that I cut off of the tomato plant, which is actually doing better than the main tomato plant at this point. We have what looks like chamomile with some broom corn growing in the middle, despite the tag that says it's watermelon. Let me get rid of that. So we've got another zinnia pot, lemon cucumber not growing yet, more mutant zinnia growing. We've got the carnation in stock, which are, I think, overpopulated in here, but we'll see what happens. It may all just die because it's overpopulated. We've got the apartment mix. This is doing fairly well. Mostly broom corn with one marigold sitting in there. More mutant zinnia. Sugar baby watermelon. Nothing quite yet there. The kabocha squash doing quite nicely. I'm sure I'm going to have to transplant these into much larger pots. Another garden mix planter, apartment mix planter, with actually looks like two of the marigolds growing in amongst the the broomcorn, which seems to be the dominant plant here. And when I cut out all of that basil, I saved one basil plant. So that's that one there. And well, there was a couple of things in the basil planter that I wasn't quite sure what they were, so I went ahead and transplanted them here. They were really, really tiny. I don't know if they'll survive. So that's it for out here. Let's go look outside. Okay, so here's our zinnia friend outside. Let me see if I can reach up, pull down, and then you can see we've got a flower starting to open up there. Looks like we've got another one. This is really tall, so looks like, yeah, I can see the bud there. So that's not quite breaking open yet, but we're getting there. So that's that. And let's take a look at what the plants look like on the top. Sorry about the shaking. Look like on the top of the that one planter there. Alright, so I'm flying almost blind again, but here it is, the top of the planter. Seems like it worked out when I did it this way last time. Try not to block anything. Let's see if I can kind of come around and give you a little bit more of a view of what this all looks like. So I can see quite a bit growing in there. Not quite tall enough to come over the top, but very encouraging. And for contrast, let's take a look at the first one of the ones on the back of the building. Alright, now this one's considerably newer, but you can see we've got a bit of growth in there. Considering it doesn't get quite as much direct sunlight, it's doing quite good. And to be a little bit more complete, here's a view of the planting beds at the north courtyard. We've got the rose bush, which we actually planted in the ground. I can actually see buds coming up on that. So this could be really nice. It seems to be doing better than before. We've got, we have another mystery donation. I don't know who put it in there, but we have another plant now. So we'll see where that one ultimately ends up going. And we got the other rose plant cleaned up a little bit, not a whole lot, but it's doing okay. Then we have the wall, and a plant which I don't know exactly what this is. If somebody wants to identify it, maybe I can figure out how to take care of it. Another one of the apartment mix planters. And the various plants over here. You can see how they're doing. And finally we've got this stuff over here. This is actually the coyote squash plant. Just still growing. I need to clean up some of that on the bottom, but still growing nicely here. I don't know that it'll ever give me any fruit. But I'm just surprised it's the next year and it's still going. We've got a couple of volunteers in this pot. I don't know what they are. If somebody wants to identify them, that would really be nice. More marigold. I need to clean this pot up a little bit more again to cut out some of the dead flowers. Keep in mind, I actually save those flowers. That's how I end up with the apartment mix. We've got the baby watermelon plant, although I don't know if that's actually still the baby watermelon. That I think is another volunteer. More basil and chamomile. We got the flower here, which I hadn't watered for a couple of days and started wilting. But we got the nice pink flowers up on the top. More basil and chamomile. And then we've got the strawberry. Let's see how our strawberries are doing. Let's see if we can find, there we go, there's one way over there. So we just keep watering it and see what we get. I love strawberries. That's it for today, I think. Okay, so I wasn't done. If you've been watching my videos for any period of time, you know that I like to do the occasional experiment. So here's the experiment in this planter. I pulled the paper backing off all the ones on the left, and I left it on the ones on the right, and we'll see if there's any difference.